What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Veve Vibes, where I love talking all things NFTs, speculation, and of course the market. So we're going to be talking about the Veve market as well as the HRO market very briefly towards the tail end. So if you don't care about HRO, that's at the end, you don't have to worry about it. But today we're actually going to be doing a vibe check on the market. This actually used to be a series I used to do pretty much on like just before most drops. I like to do a nice snapshot of the market right before a drop happens, so people kind of know what's happening, what's discounted, what's up right now. Sometimes people want to make moves on the market surrounding drops because there tends to be a lot of hype. Sometimes people start really discounting other things, or sometimes people start focusing on other comics or other things while the market is open, while a certain drop is happening. So yeah, that used to be something I used to do quite a bit, but then it just kind of wore out. It kind of wore me out because I'd have to wake up like a full hour before a drop and do the recording and all that stuff. So it kind of wore me out, especially doing it for the majority of drops. But this time around, today is a day where there's no drop, so it's kind of a nice bit of a lull. And I think a lot of people are wondering what the market is doing right now. So first things first that we're going to do is vibe check. We're going to look at the top gainers and the top losers on both collectibles and comics, and then after that we'll go ahead and dive into HRO. So first thing I want to check out is actually the comics, and what I want to do is actually check out the top gainers first. Just curious how things are kind of panning out on the comic side of things, and it looks like the ultra rare Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect, this one looks like it's actually gone up quite a bit, 43%. Looks like it was at like 90 gems, maybe 85 gems at one point. Now it is significantly higher than it was before. So you can actually see here an absolute skyrocket in the price from all the way, 80 gems all the way up to 150 right now. And right now, finally the listings have kind of caught up with it. Now that the price is higher, people see that, they want to try and cash in on the profit. So you can see those listings are actually going up with it. It went from basically 14 listings once they started selling out, and now it's all the way up to 26 listings right now. Going on Uncanny X-Men 308, Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect, that's also the common. This is actually the Thanksgiving one that we got quite a while back, and I love this cover just because I love the X-Men. I love the uncommon and rare variants as well, that has like all the good guys and also all the villains of the X-Men kind of sitting around like a giant Thanksgiving table. Like I said, Hulk Future Imperfect, Spider-Woman number 37. First appearance of Siren. Okay, so the secret rare is actually up quite a bit. It seems like a lot of these comics pretty much hitting a low, and I think the main reason why a lot of these secret rares are just like high-end comics are doing extremely well right now could be one of two reasons. The first one is, which is probably less likely but definitely an influencer, is literally My Collectibles and Sleeping in Comics. Both of those guys I think have, I know My Collectibles has, and I'm not sure about Sleeping in Comics. They did talk about secret rares, how they think it's very valuable. I mean, heck, most of them only have anywhere between 500 to 600 in circulation. I love the white background, so it's just that rarity. And also, if it is somewhat of a significant first appearance, those should be running up in price. I think what's most likely happening, and what's probably working in conjunction with it, is that some people have just been really profitable these last few days. Everything surrounding that Star Wars drop. Same thing with the Tales of Suspense 110, not Tales of Suspense, Strange Tales 110, first appearance of Doctor Strange. If you landed either one of those drops, you're pretty profitable. Same thing with the most recent Flash versus Superman drop. Like if you just got that on the drop, you're pretty much profitable, because I don't really think it hit below box price, and if it did, it was very briefly. But I feel like most people were profitable on that drop as well. So the last three drops have been actually pretty profitable for the community. I think people are now reinvesting those, a few hundred gems, 1,000, maybe even 2,000-3,000 gems if you're really lucky, getting that secret rare Star Wars comic, and now you're basically reinvesting those gems into other secret rares or other pretty high-end comics. So Avengers number 80 looks to be on the way up. So yeah, this list is getting pretty crazy. Things are up 43%, 40%, 38%, 35%. We would not have seen these highs or these increases in prices even just a few weeks ago. A lot of stuff was usually up in like the mid to high teens, maybe low 20s, but now we're seeing a lot of stuff getting up into the 30s and upper 20s right now. Immortal Hulk, Fantastic Four number 5, secret rare is actually up 1,700 gems right now. So I do know in the secret rares, a lot of people were heavily undercutting a lot of ultra rares and secret rares. Like there's really big gaps in purchases. So anytime one of these secret rares or some of these like very grail comics in like the ultra rare secret rare category get bought up, you tend to see that floor just really fly up, because the gap between the listings are just so large. Again, Immortal Hulk, ultra rare is doing that. Uncanny X-Men. Looks like the list is repeating at this point, so we'll go ahead and move on to the top losers. And I know this, and usually my vibe checks are a bit shorter because I usually try to keep them under 15 minutes because I have to literally like make the video, upload it, and release it to you guys before the drop happens, like within 30 minutes of when I was like recording the video. But now I feel like I could take my time a little bit, go a little bit more in depth with some of the individual items as to why I think the prices, why the prices are currently being reflected as they are now. So Strange Tales, right now it's just pretty much just retracing at this point. I checked literally earlier today, it was at like 250. Right now it's at 200, so just a little bit of retracement for the most part. But I still think the Strange Tale comics are a good investment. I did manage to get 3 of the commons on drop. I just could not literally manage to buy any in the secondary market. It was reserved. I didn't want to pay 50, 60, 70% above floor just to secure one. So I just let it go, and I didn't want to set up my phone for honestly 1 to 2 hours just to try and get something kind of close to floor. So I just let it be. So Strange Tales and Uncommon and Ultra Rare, still amazing comics. Some comic people are actually saying this could be a top 5, maybe top 10 comic on the platform based on the current comics that we have. Rare Star Wars, number 1. Right now, a lot of these comics that are just lost a lot, they're just retracing from where they were before. So the rare is now down to 120 when it was, looks like it was at like 170 at one point. Amazing Spider-Man 50 common, which is the first appearance of Wilson Fisk, which is Kingpin. Captain America 117, that's down 27%. Strange Tales 110 common is also down 26%. So a lot of the Strange Tales as well as Star Wars might make this list just because they're retracing from their very high prices and people are starting to take profit at that point. What If number 1, this is when Fantastic Four and Spider-Man work together. So a pretty, somewhat significant comic. Not a grail, but it's definitely, I would say, like in the mid tier range based on the tier list that I've seen from other content creators and comic book people. Tales of Suspense, number 57, Ultra Rare, is actually retraced down. This is the first appearance of Hawkeye, which is really interesting. I actually really like that cover. I'm a huge fan of Ultra Rare covers and just kind of just investing in the Ultra Rare comic books. A little bit more than Secret Rares just because I don't have the type of gems to invest in like multiple Secret Rares, but I can invest in multiple Ultra Rares. And I do think the Veve exclusive covers will fetch a nice premium in the future. Uncanny X-Men 129, which is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost. So that is the Ultra Rare. Retracing as well all the way down to 105, so that one looks like it's to be down. That's it for comics right now. I know we still have HRO to cover here a little bit later, but let's go ahead and start with the collectibles and see what's pretty much at an all-time low. Not all-time low, but what's the biggest losers right now? What are the things that are down the most? Edo, not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but that's the one from the Ultraman series. It's down 40%. So this thing took an absolute nosedive from 525 all the way down to 375. So I'm not sure if this is a singular listing that just happened to be up when the ecomi wiki API just kind of like ran its scan, or when they received the information from Veve, that maybe this is a single listing. Probably by the time I'm finished doing this video, it's probably already gone by now. I would imagine if someone's literally undercutting the floor by a full 150 bucks, it's probably gone by now. Common Labricorn with the Rainbow Vomit, pretty much at an all-time low right now. You can see those listings kind of petering out, but it's just interesting because all it takes is a few buyers to really get things like this going, and then all of a sudden we're gonna see all those sellers show up again out of the woodwork. But right now I think a lot of people just kind of forgot to relist their NFTs. Some people have a ton of NFTs, and if you do go through your collection, and honestly if you have more than like 20 or 30, maybe 40 NFTs, it does take a while to get through all of your listings to actually find your NFT that's like listed. Dragon Girl Silver and Gold, that's down 20%. Lincoln Logo Mayhem board is down to $26, so it's down 20%. The Hunter Specimen 04, so it looks like we're getting a lot of independent artist stuff, as well as some of the 007 stuff. So a lot of this doesn't really surprise me. A lot of this is retracing quite a bit. So far on this front page, we haven't seen any DC, we haven't seen any Marvel, we haven't seen okay, finally we get a DC. Jay Lee Batman has retraced quite a bit, but you actually see quite a bit of independent artist pieces, as well as Alligator Loki, Icarus. Okay, now we're finally getting to some like the somewhat less popular Marvel stuff for the most part. Carmine Carmine Robin is down 16%. OG Devil Bunny, Icarus, these are all down as well. So let's go ahead and check out the top gainers, see what's actually pumping on the collectible side of things. And I'm actually curious to see what's happening on the collectible side. I think everyone's really focused on comics, which I don't blame them with Star Wars, with Strange Tales 110 happening. I definitely see a lot of attention's been around comics over these last couple months, especially recently. Yeah, so top gainers for collectibles. Remember, we're looking at comics, things were pumping 40, 30%, high 20s, low 30s. The highest thing that's pumped percentage-wise on the collectible side is 15.5%, which is Gilgamesh. Then we have Edward Riso, Batman, up 15%, so it's at $7,000 right now. Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, ultra rare, went up $50, so it's up 14%. Atlas Ready Voltron, 13%. Invisible Woman, uncommon, 13%. Throg, the rare, 13. You're the Rat Stamp, Deadbeats, as well as the Assassin, all three of those up 12% as well. Snowflake Labbit, nice to see at least some of the Labbits are actually doing well. This one's actually up 12% as well. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it here on the Veve side of things. Again, just kind of just giving you a general feel of what's up and what's down right now. Now we're going to switch over actually to HRO very, very quickly. This will be much quicker than ecomi wiki because I do have multiple tabs open because navigating the market can be quite difficult on the HRO side of things. The original digital packs for the Batman universe for like the very first drop basically that happened on HRO is now at $500. Some other collectibles that I've seen, I'm not going to go through the whole market because there's not really like a full layout like we have with the ecomi wiki, but I just kind of picked out a handful of NFTs that or I should say cards that I feel like that are going up right now. Flash, I think because first appearance Flash not too long ago, this thing was like $1. Now it's actually gone up quite a bit, and it's only a handful of listings away to like pushing up to potentially $2 compared to what it was before. Detective Comics, I think a lot of these cards, even though they're common, the ones that do have very, very significant panels and or covers of very important comics in real life, like the DC covers, I think this one is actually the first appearance of Robin. So 1940 Detective Comics number 38. I believe that's the first appearance of Robin, which is why it's at $3.50 compared to a lot of the other common cards, which are just like $1 right now. It's about 8,000 in circulation. Panel number 9, so there's up to I believe 9 panels. Panel number 9 is the most expensive because I believe this is the very first actual like panel in the first appearance comic of Batman. Like this is basically the very first panel you actually see Batman in the comic, his first appearance. So I do think this one is obviously going for a significantly higher premium, all the way up to $10. It's also, you know, an epic, so there's less of them than what you would typically see with some of the other cards, but it is a historical piece, and it also shows you, okay, at the bottom right just shows you the 9 panels that are involved with that kind of like set. Next one is Action Comics, so the flip side, not the first appearance of Batman, and we have the first appearance of Superman in a comic. So Action Comics number 1, that's the first appearance of Superman. This is probably one of the most iconic comic covers probably in existence ever. 1938, Action Comics. There's a reason why this thing is pushing $20. Honestly, I think last week or even just a few days ago, this was going for $15. And then before that, it was probably a few weeks before that, it was probably around 10 or 12. And I remember when the pre-orders and all that stuff finally started happening with Hero, some of these were actually going for like $4, $5, $6, $7, and now it's all the way up to 20. So it just shows you how significant, at least people in the community, at least in the Hero community, are actually valuing these arguably first appearance covers of these very significant comic book covers on the app. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I would like to do more of these vibe checks. I'm not sure on the Veve side of things if I would do them every single drop, but I'm trying to figure out maybe on just the off days, Veve, whenever there's not a drop happening, maybe I will do a vibe check, because that seems to be a lull and people aren't looking at the market every single day. I think people usually only look at the market if there's a drop happening, and if there's not a drop happening, people don't have the time to look at all these NFTs. So maybe vibe check is a good time to do that for all of you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care. Please double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over, and I'll catch you guys next time.